She's in the hospital. They found her in a motel room. That sentence hits me like a car crash. It keeps echoing in my head even after the nurse hangs up. Found her. In a motel. The words don't make sense together. My wife, my Elena, doesn't belong in a sentence like that. She's the one who plans everything, who folds her sweaters by color, who texts me every morning at exactly 7:02 a.m. to say, "Don't skip breakfast." And now, it's midnight. The world outside my window is drowning in rain, and the glow of my phone feels radioactive in my hand. I don't even remember putting on my jacket, only that my hands shake as I grab the car keys. I can taste metal in my mouth. Fear, disbelief, guilt, all mixing together. The roads glisten like black glass. Wipers thud back and forth, keeping time with the thunder. Every red light feels like a punishment. Every second I'm not with her feels stolen. My mind races. Motel? Why would she be at a motel? Was she, with someone? The thought claws at my chest. I shake my head hard, but it keeps whispering. By the time I reach the hospital, my shirt is plastered to my skin. The smell of antiseptic and wet asphalt hits me as I burst through the emergency doors. My shoes squeak across the white tiles. I try to speak, but my throat feels locked. The receptionist glances up, startled. "Sir?" Elena Rivera. "You called me." "You said..." Her expression softens instantly. "She's stable. Room 12, but the police might need to speak with you." Police. The word shatters through my chest. I stumble down the hallway, the world narrowing into white walls and fluorescent buzz. I push open the door, and there she is. Elena lies beneath a thin blanket, her skin pale against the pillow. There's a small bruise at her temple, and a faint red line across her wrist. Her hair spills across the sheets like dark ink. Machines beep softly beside her, marking time in slow heartbeats. For a second, I just stand there, my breath caught somewhere between a sob and a prayer. Then she stirs. Her eyelids flutter open, unfocused at first, then lock on me. A faint smile tugs at the corner of her mouth. "You came." "Of course I came," I whisper, stepping closer. My voice cracks. "What happened, Lena? Why were you..." She looks away before I finish. Her throat moves, swallowing something hard. I wasn't supposed to be there. Something inside me twists. "Were you with someone?" The words slip out before I can stop them. It sounds ugly, desperate. Her eyes flash up at me, hurt flickering through them like lightning. "Is that what you think?" "I don't know what to think." My voice rises, then breaks. "They said they found you in a motel room, alone, passed out. You weren't answering your phone. What am I supposed to think? Silence? The kind that presses on your lungs." Finally, she exhales, long and trembling. "I was helping someone, Marco." I blink. "Helping who?" Her gaze drifts toward the rain-speckled window. Maya, her old college friend. The one who disappeared months ago. I remember the night Elena told me she'd run from an abusive husband. I remember the worry in her eyes. "She called me tonight," Elena whispers. "Said she was terrified. She didn't have anywhere to go. I met her at that motel, just to make sure she was safe. But he found her. He found us." My stomach drops. "Her husband?" She nods. "He came in screaming. I tried to protect her. I thought he'd stop if I..." Her breath shakes. "He hit me, Marco. I must have blacked out. I feel the blood drain from my face." The room tilts slightly. All the ugly thoughts I had on the drive here, the accusations, the jealousy, they burn through me with shame. I move closer, my hand hovering above hers before I dare to touch. Her skin is cool but alive. She looks fragile, like one deep breath might break her. "I'm sorry," I murmur. "God, I'm so sorry." Her lips quiver. "You thought I cheated. My throat closes. "Yes." She lets out a small, sad laugh that doesn't reach her eyes. "You always think the worst of me when I don't explain things right away." "I was scared," I say, almost pleading. "The call, the motel, I know." Her voice softens. "But you came anyway." Her words settle between us, tender and sharp all at once. The monitor beeps softly, like a heartbeat keeping rhythm with our silence. I brush a strand of hair from her face. She flinches slightly, not from pain, but memory. I can see the tremor in her lips, the guilt she carries for something that isn't her fault. I want to pull her into my arms, but the IV line and the bruises remind me to be gentle. Then a knock sounds at the door. A police officer steps in, rain dripping from his hat. His gaze shifts between us. "Mr. Rivera." "Yes," I say, straightening. "We have a few questions. About what happened at the motel." Elena closes her eyes, the exhaustion returning. I feel her hand tighten weakly around mine. The officer's tone is calm, but his eyes are sharp. We found signs of a struggle. And a weapon. But the man's gone. Gone, the word hangs in the sterile air. Heavy and cold. I glance at Elena. The bruises, the trembling breath. The shadows beneath her eyes. And suddenly I know this night isn't over. Not even close. Something about her expression, the fear she's not saying out loud, tells me there's more. Something deeper. The officer's radio crackles. A voice murmurs. Suspect's car found abandoned near the river. Elena's eyes snap open, and in that instant I realize, whatever happened at that motel, we're both already inside it. The officer's voice fades as he steps out to make a call, leaving the door half open. Rain murmurs in the corridor, the steady patter like a metronome for the chaos inside my head. I sit beside her bed, the sterile hum of the machines pressing against the silence we're both too afraid to fill. Elena's fingers twitch against mine, as if she's reaching for words she can't quite say. Her eyes are half closed, pupils trembling in restless dreams. I study her face, the faint bruise blooming along her jaw, the shadow of exhaustion beneath her lashes. She looks like someone who's been fighting ghosts. When she finally speaks, it's barely a whisper. He's still out there, Marco. I lean closer. Who, Maya's husband? She nods, her throat working. He said if I told anyone, he'd come for me. For us. Her eyes meet mine, wide and glistening. He knows where we live. A chill snakes through my spine. The rain outside thickens, hammering against the windows like fingers trying to break through. You're safe now, I say softly, though I don't believe it. The police will find him. Her mouth curves in something that isn't quite a smile. You always say that when you don't know what else to say. I swallow. You're right, I pause. But I mean it. She stares at me for a long moment in the kind of look that peels you open. Then quietly, you almost didn't come tonight, did you? I flinch. The truth sits heavy on my tongue. I didn't know what to think. She exhales, turning her face toward the ceiling. You thought I was cheating? Her voice is flat now, stripped bare. I open my mouth, then close it again. There's nothing to defend. She can read me like a weather map. She always has. The silence stretches. Somewhere down the hall, a door clicks shut. The smell of antiseptic mixes with rain and her perfume. Faint, floral, the kind that used to linger on my shirts for days. When she looks back at me, her eyes soften. You've always been the calm one, Marco. But lately I see this storm in you, like you're waiting for something bad to happen. I let out a shaky laugh. Maybe I was right. She smiles faintly. Maybe. Her hand slips from beneath the blanket, reaching toward mine. The movement is small, hesitant, but when our fingers brush, a pulse of warmth cuts through the cold. Her skin feels fragile but alive. I hold it gently, afraid to break her or to let go. I didn't mean to scare you, she murmurs. I just couldn't ignore Maya's call. I know, I say. That's who you are. You'd walk into a storm to save someone else. She blinks slowly, eyes glistening. And you'd drive through one to find me. For a second, everything between us is suspended. The hospital, the rain, the noise. Just her voice soft and trembling, wrapping around me like a thread pulling two lost halves together. But then her body tenses. She glances at the door, then back to me. He took something from me, Marco. I frown. What do you mean? Her jaw tightens. Maya's husband. When he attacked us, he grabbed my purse. My phone was inside. It has messages. I lean in, trying to read her expression. From who? She hesitates. Her lips part, then press shut again. From Maya. She told me everything about him. Names, threats, places. If the police get those texts, he's finished. But if he reads them first, I feel the air thin between us. He'll come for you. She nods once. The door opens again. The officer returns, his expression grim. Mr. Rivera, Mrs. Rivera, we've got units near the river. We believe the suspect's injured. But we'll need you both to stay here tonight for protection. Elena nods weakly. I stand, instinctively moving between her and the doorway. The officer gives a small nod of approval before stepping out again. As the door closes, the room feels suddenly smaller, dimmer. The rain outside softens to a whisper. I pull a chair closer to her bed. You should rest, I tell her. I'll be right here. She looks at me with tired eyes. You don't have to. I'm not going anywhere. She studies me for a long moment as though trying to believe that. Then she turns her head toward the window. The city lights paint faint gold lines across her face. Minutes pass. Her breathing evens out, but sleep doesn't come easily. I watch her. The rise and fall of her chest, the small tremors in her hands. The guilt in my chest tightens, not for what happened, but for what I thought of her. I run a hand through my hair, my voice low. I should have trusted you. Her eyes flick open. Then trust me now. I do. Then believe me when I say it's not over. I lean closer. What aren't you telling me? Her lips part, the words trembling there. Then she whispers, he wasn't alone. My pulse spikes. What? There was someone else with him. Another man. I saw his face, and just for a second, one before everything went dark. Do you know him? Her gaze drifts away, hesitant. I think so. The way she says it chills me more than the words themselves. I can see fear flicker through her. The kind that isn't about being hurt again, but about what the truth might mean. Before I can ask more, the power flickers. Lights dim, machines beep once, then steady. A nurse passes outside, murmuring to someone. The storm must have knocked something out. Elena squeezes my hand tighter. Promise me you won't leave me alone. I nod, though my throat feels locked. I promise. Her breathing slows, and for a moment I think she's fallen asleep. Then in the faintest voice she says, if something happens to me, find Maya. I open my mouth to answer, but the door creaks open again. A shadow stands there. Not the officer. Not a nurse. Just a figure drenched from the rain, face hidden under the hood of a dark jacket. Elena's eyes snap open, her body rigid. I rise instantly, heart pounding. Who are you? The figure steps forward, silent. Lightning flashes, and when I see his face, familiar. Too familiar. The storm outside howls, and everything inside me freezes. The figure pauses in the doorway, drenched and shadowed, the rain dripping from his hood in slow, heavy drops. My chest tightens, breath snagging in my throat. The face is familiar, impossibly familiar, and a flicker of recognition sends a shockwave through me. Elena stiffens beside me, her hand clutching mine like a lifeline. Her eyes are wide, bright with fear and something else I can't name yet. I step forward, my own pulse hammering. What are you doing here? I demand, voice tight. The man tilts his head slightly, expression unreadable. He doesn't answer. His presence fills the room, heavy and charged, as though the air itself is holding its breath. Elena shifts closer to me, her shoulder brushing mine, a whisper of warmth that makes my chest ache. I glance at her, and our eyes meet. There's a flicker there, the kind of unspoken confession that hovers between two people when danger and desire intertwine. Her lips part slightly as if she wants to say something, but the words stay trapped. The stranger moves one step forward, and Elena flinches instinctively. I step in front of her, hand tightening around hers. The warmth of her fingers sears through the tension in the room. I want to tell her it's okay, that she's safe with me, but the words feel too small against the storm raging outside and inside. Her eyes drop to our intertwined hands, lingering, hesitant. Marco, she breathes, voice trembling. I swallow, my throat tight. I'm here, I say. I won't let anyone hurt you. Her gaze lifts, and in that look I feel every emotion she hasn't spoken. Fear, relief, longing, and something deeper, raw and trembling, that makes my pulse spike. The storm outside mirrors the storm inside me, a violent, beautiful chaos. I reach out, brushing a wet strand of hair from her temple. She doesn't pull away. Instead, her eyes flutter closed for a moment, and the world narrows to the sound of our breathing, the faint beeping of the monitors and the soft patter of rain on the window. I thought... Her voice cracks. I thought you wouldn't understand. Understand what? I murmur, leaning closer. She swallows, trembling. Everything. Why I went there. Why I didn't tell you. Why I risked myself for her. I press my forehead gently against hers. I don't care why. I care that you're here. That you're alive. That you're you. Her breath hitches, and I can feel the tension in her body melt slightly, replaced by something fragile and electric. The closeness of her. The warmth of her hand in mine. The soft brush of her lips against her own skin. It's almost too much. My mind screams at me to stop, to wait, but my body and heart are out of control. Marco, she whispers again, voice low, intimate, almost desperate. The words hang between us, suspended in the humid air before I close the distance. My lips hover just above hers, a breath away, teasing, questioning, desperate for permission. Her eyes flutter closed, a shiver running through her. I feel the moment stretching until it's almost unbearable. Then our lips meet. Gentle at first, tentative, a whisper of a kiss like a secret shared in the dark. Her fingers clutch my shirt, nails pressing lightly, grounding us both. The kiss deepens, slow and searching. A confession of everything we haven't said, everything we've been afraid to admit. It's not just desire. It's relief, it's fear. It's love clawing its way through layers of mistrust and danger. The world outside ceases to exist. There's only her heartbeat against mine, the taste of rain and perfume and something unbearably intimate. But then, the sound of a door creaking again. A soft knock, hesitant but deliberate. Our heads snap apart, breaths ragged. The spell breaks, the room crashing back into reality. The figure in the doorway is gone. Only the echo of his presence lingers. Elena leans into me, her forehead resting against my chest. "They're still out there," she whispers. We can't stay like this." I hold her closer, arms wrapped around her fragile body. "I know, but I needed to know," I murmur. "I needed to know you're here. That it's really you." Her hands press into my chest, trembling as if she's memorizing the warmth, the safety. "I am," she says. "I'm here with you, even if everything else falls apart." The intimacy of the moment lingers in the silence. Every heartbeat, every breath is a quiet declaration. We haven't said the words, "I love you." But the kiss, the touch, the trembling, unspoken confessions say it all. Outside, the rain intensifies. Lightning flickers, illuminating the room in jagged bursts, highlighting the curve of her shoulder, the tilt of her head, the small perfect surrender of her hands in mine. I feel the tension building again, danger, fear, passion, and I know this is just the beginning. Her voice, soft and raw, breaks the spell again. "Marco, if something happens, promise me." I cut her off gently, pressing my lips to her temple. "I promise, I won't let anything happen to you." Her eyes close, the shiver in her body softening. But even as relief flickers, there's a shadow there. The memory of the man, the danger still lingering outside. And in that moment, I realize something I've been denying. I can't stop wanting her. I can't stop needing her. And even in the face of fear, even in the storm, I would fight every shadow, every threat, every danger, just to keep this fragile, electrifying connection alive. Her hands tighten around mine, the pulse of her fingers a rhythm I've been waiting to feel. And for the first time tonight, in the quiet between storms, in the fragile glow of hospital lights, I feel the undeniable truth. She is mine, and I am hers, no matter what comes next. The storm rages outside, but inside, for one brief blazing moment, everything is ours. The rain outside has softened to a steady drizzle, but the storm in my chest hasn't eased. Elena lies beside me, still trembling slightly, her head resting against my shoulder. Every time I look at her, my heart clenches. The bruises on her skin, the fear still lingering in her eyes, and the unspoken secrets pressing between us. "Marco," she whispers, voice fragile, like porcelain on the verge of shattering. I tilt my head, brushing a wet strand of hair from her forehead. "Shh. It's okay. I'm right here." Her fingers curl into mine, nails pressing into my palm. She's shaking, but it's not just fear anymore. There's something else there. Tension, need, longing. I can feel it pulsing through the simple touch of her hand, a quiet heat that refuses to be ignored. "I should have told you everything," she murmurs, almost inaudible. "About Maya, about him, about what I did tonight." I tighten my grip, pulling her a little closer. "You don't have to explain now. Just stay with me." Her lips quiver, and I can feel her breath hitch as her forehead presses against my chest. The quiet is electric. Every heartbeat, every breath, every soft sound in this hospital room is magnified, charged with the tension that's been building between us all night. I shift slightly, careful not to hurt her, and she follows the movement, rolling onto her side to face me. Her eyes search mine, wide and luminous in the dim hospital light. There's a vulnerability there that makes my chest tighten, but also an undeniable pull, a raw, magnetic force that I've tried to ignore but can't. Elena. I murmur, my voice low, rough with something I can't name. I can't stop thinking about you, about holding you, about this. Her eyes soften, and for a heartbeat, the fear, the danger, the police, the stranger, all of it fades. There's only us. Only this charged, suspended moment. She leans forward, and I can feel her breath on my lips, a whisper that teases, tempts, and ignites something deep inside me. I'm scared, Marco, she admits, voice trembling. Scared for Maya, scared for myself, and scared of what I feel for you right now. I brush my fingers along her jawline, careful and reverent. You don't have to be afraid. Not with me. Not now. Her eyes flutter closed, and she leans into my touch, letting me trace the line of her cheek, the curve of her neck, the slope of her shoulder. Every movement is slow, deliberate, charged with intimacy. The hospital room, sterile, cold, fluorescent, feels alive with us, the air thick with tension and the unspoken truth of how much we need each other. Her hands move up to my chest, fingertips brushing over the fabric of my shirt. The contact sends a shiver racing through me. I can feel the heat of her body, the tremor in her breath, the trembling anticipation that mirrors my own. Elena, I murmur, voice husky, I need you. I can't hide it anymore. Her eyes snap open, searching mine, and I see the same raw desire mirrored there. Fear and longing, need and vulnerability, all tangled together. She leans closer, lips hovering over mine, and the tension becomes unbearable. But just as our lips are about to meet, there's a sudden knock at the door. We both freeze. It's the officer again. His presence is a reminder of the danger still out there, the world beyond this room, the consequences waiting for every choice. But for a brief moment, the interruption only heightens the urgency, the intensity of what we've been holding back. Elena. Marco, he says gently, voice firm but kind. We need to talk about the suspect. He's been spotted again. We need your statement. Her body tenses. She glances at me, eyes wide, full of fear. But there's also something else. Defiance, courage, a spark that refuses to be snuffed out. She leans into me, a silent promise that we'll face this together. I pull her closer, resting my forehead against hers. We'll get through this, together. No one touches you. No one gets past me. Her lips press against my chest in a brief, trembling kiss, and I feel the weight of everything. Fear, relief, desire, love, coiling tight in my chest. It's raw, overwhelming, and entirely uncontainable. The officer waits, polite but insistent. Elena finally nods, straightening slightly. I'll come, she says, voice firmer now, steadier. She glances at me and I nod, understanding the unspoken promise. No matter what happens, we're bound together, unbreakable. I help her sit up, supporting her as she slips her arm around my shoulder. Every movement, every touch is electric, a current that won't be denied. The danger outside only sharpens the intimacy between us, makes each glance, each brush of skin, each shared breath feel urgent and necessary. As we leave the room, her hand lingers on mine, squeezing gently. The hospital corridor stretches before us, rain still streaking the windows, the world outside chaotic and dangerous. But inside, I feel a quiet certainty. Nothing can keep us apart. Not fear, not danger, not the darkness that waits beyond these walls. Her lips brush my shoulder in a fleeting kiss, and I swallow, heart hammering. You have no idea how much I've wanted this, I murmur, voice low. She smiles, faint, tired, but full of that fire I've always known. Then don't stop, she whispers. The storm may rage outside, the shadows may chase us, but for the first time tonight, I realize that nothing can touch the bond between us now. It's fragile, yes, but fierce. And it's ours. And in that moment I understand the truth I've been avoiding. That the danger, the fear, the chaos only makes what we have sharper, more real, more alive. As we walk together toward the unknown, toward the confrontation waiting outside, toward the threat still looming, I know one thing with absolute certainty. I will fight. I will protect. And I will claim every moment with her, no matter what comes next. Nothing, I promise myself, will ever come between us again. She's alive, and we're going to make sure she stays that way. The words echo in my mind as I grip Elena's hand, stepping out into the rain-slicked streets beside the officer. Every step feels heavy with tension, but I don't care. I only care about her. The danger from the motel, the man who attacked her and Maya, it all narrows into a single focus, keeping her safe. Her fingers are cold in mine, trembling slightly. I bring our hands together, pressing them against my chest. We'll get through this, I murmur, voice low but steady. I won't let anything happen to you. She nods, breath hitching. Marco, I don't know what I'd do without you. I glance at her, my heart clenching at the raw honesty in her eyes. You'll never have to find out, I say softly. I'm right here always. We reach the police car, officers moving quickly to coordinate the search. The suspect's car has been found abandoned near the river, but the trail is still hot. Elena clings to me instinctively, and I can feel the tremor in her body. I pull her close, resting my forehead against hers, sharing warmth against the chill of the night. You're stronger than you think, I whisper, and you're not alone in this. Her lips brush my chest in a fleeting kiss, faint, almost secretive, yet it sends a jolt of fire through me. The bond we've always shared, the love, the trust, the passion, solidifies in that tiny electric moment. The search stretches into hours. Rain soaks us, but neither of us notices. Every call on the radio, every movement in the shadows keeps our adrenaline taut. And then a breakthrough. Suspect in custody, one officer announces. He tried to flee across the river, but units cornered him. He's injured but alive. The victim, Elena Rivera, is safe. Relief floods me like a wave. My knees feel weak, but I don't let go of her hand. She squeezes back, eyes wide, and for a heartbeat, the world collapses into the fact that she's safe, that the danger has ended. The officers take statements, and Elena answers with a quiet strength that surprises me. I stay beside her, hand never leaving hers, offering silent support. Every detail she recounts, every moment she describes, I hold in my mind, committed to remembering the courage she displayed, not the fear, not the bruises, but the fire inside her that refused to bow. Once it's over, we step outside into the early morning, the rain finally easing into a soft mist. The city glimmers with wet neon and streetlight reflections like a world washed clean. I pull her close, holding her tightly, letting her rest her head against my chest. She exhales a long, trembling sigh. Thank you, she whispers, for believing in me, for everything. I tilt her chin up gently, brushing my lips against hers in a slow, deliberate kiss. I've always believed in you, I say, and I'll always be here. You don't have to face anything alone ever again. Her lips quiver, eyes glistening as she presses against me, holding me like I'm the only safe place in the world. The fear from earlier, the tension from the night melts into warmth, into trust, into something deeper and more permanent. We walk together toward the car, the first rays of dawn breaking through clouds. The world feels fragile, but ours feels unbreakable. Every danger, every fear, every challenge we've faced only brought us closer, made the bond between us stronger. Once we're alone in the quiet of our home later, the adrenaline finally subsides. Elena sits on the couch wrapped in a blanket, her head resting against my shoulder. I can feel the pulse of her body steady now, and it synchronizes with mine. I don't want to lose you, she whispers. You won't, I reply, pressing a gentle kiss to her temple. Not now, not ever. I promise. Her fingers find mine again, intertwining with a quiet, reassuring strength. I love you, Marco, she says, voice soft but unwavering. I love you too, Helena, I answer, letting the words settle between us, heavy with all the nights of worry, all the fear, all the longing, more than I've ever been able to say before. We sit like that, holding each other, letting the night's terror dissolve into morning light. The world outside continues. Indifferent, chaotic, but inside our home, there is safety, warmth, and the quiet intimacy of two people who survived the storm together. Later, as she drifts into a peaceful sleep against my chest, I watch her, memorizing every detail, the curve of her lips, the softness of her hair, the steady rhythm of her breathing. And in that moment, I know that no matter what shadows may come, no matter what storms we face, we are stronger together. The motel, the attack, the fear, all of it belongs to the past now. What remains is this, us, and the love that refuses to break even in the face of everything. I press a final kiss to her hair, whispering into the quiet room, "Always, Elena, always." And for the first time tonight, I truly believe it, the rain has stopped. The storm is over, but the bond forged in its fury is eternal. Unshakable, unbreakable ours. We survived. Together.